Hi, Cancer. Welcome to your reading for June 2024. This is going to be for Cancer, Sun, Moon, or Rising. Many of you are intuitively guided. If you're here checking up on a Cancer, know that your spirit guides know that, and they're going to get messages to you. I'm doing a series right now of who, according to your zodiac sign, who are your archangels that's assigned to you. So I'm going to do a whole series where I do the archangels, then the angels, and maybe even tap into your spirit guides. You know what I mean? So I started the archangels, and I haven't got to yours yet, but I will soon. And they're like they're just homemade movies. Um, they're short, but packed with information, and I'm getting better. It's interesting. They're short, but yet it takes me hours and hours to do them. So I hope you love them. Anyways, Cancer, I have a feeling good things are going to happen in June for you. I just get this good feeling. I also want to say happy birthday to those who are going to be celebrating in late June. Um, but yeah, I get a feeling something good is coming. So, what we're going to do is use four different decks. We're going to use Mother Mary for her words of wisdom. We're going to use the Tarot of Dreams with the Psychic Tarot. And then we'll come back and clarify or go deeper with the Guild Tarot. Okay? So, let's go ahead and open up your reading. I know I have a lot of cancers that come to my lives, and so I always keep you in mind also. All right. Hmm. Feminine. Feminine. I allow my feminine nature to shine brightly as a valuable part of my identity. I don't know why, but when I think of Cancer, I feel like you don't really have a problem with that. But you know, we are masculine and feminine, light and dark. So, um, could be calling for like that nurturing part to come out, but we'll see. We'll read it from the book at the end. So we're going to put it over there and let's get into the tarot portion. I'm like anxious to get started. So what I'm going to do, Knight of Swords underneath there. We're not going to take it. We'll see if it comes back out, but could be some type of communication that's coming in. But anyways, what I'm going to do is use a psychic tarot and do whatever wants to come out. Hopefully, like I like it, like one line of each, where it goes back and forth. But we're gonna take it however it comes. All right, and everything's pre-shuffled before you get here. I'd just like to shuffle it with you here. All right, let's give them a cut. I'm gonna go ahead and bring the lid down. Someone is outside cutting their grass, so if it gets too loud, I will close the window. All right, Cancer. My beautiful Cancers. Such a loving nature, but man, don't cross them. Don't cross them. Because we're our polar opposites, right? There is, in between matter, but as loving as you can be, if someone crosses you, I feel like, like, I don't know. All right. Well, they come out of a chunk and they all came face up. We have the Four of Swords. Healing, rest, and rejuvenation. This person looks like they're, grounding themselves out in nature. Maybe meditating out in nature. Gaining that wisdom from all those trees. been there for a long time. Could talk about also you connecting um, with like your higher selves. You know, it's interesting. I was doing something. I was writing something, and I don't know. I usually like music playing in the background, and instead I ended up on, oh my gosh, I forget her name. I ended up on this lady's website, who is pretty old, and that may have been even an old video, but she was talking about like how um, she worked like in past lives and that, and she explained like, she didn't know what was going on as she developed that, with her, the feelings that she was talking about. I was like, that's exactly what I feel. You know what I mean? It's like where my mind is left out of it and I'm just left to feel. So, anyways, I don't know why I just said all that, but you know, positive movement forward. So I feel like, yes, we all need that rest. We need to rejuvenate, but this is fast moving energy. And it's positive. This person's heading towards the sun. 8, a new beginning, infinity. It's almost like it's interesting. I was speaking about the angels in that at the beginning of the reading because I kind of feel that. I kind of feel like it's just not about, healing yourself from this earth, and this earth has plenty of like different elements that can help heal you. But I also feel like, your guides are help healing you. Hmm. Like your higher self would look at any situation here on earth and be like, "Psh, been there, done that." You know what I mean? But that us, the human part of us, born with amnesia, we're just trying to figure it out. So, anyways, this feels very guided, and it may talk about like it is time for movement, but it's a good thing. All right, let's keep going. Whoa. Hello, spiritual union. 2 cups. Cancer's like, I can't even get away with trying to do a reading without love coming up in it. Spiritual union. Look at this heading that way. It's like interesting because it's 4 of swords is what this is. This person is like, not in movement. This person is connecting with their inner selves, calling on their higher selves, but sitting in nature, right? Grounding themselves. And all that seems like really important. And, maybe it's a reminder that we can do that, right? We can overcome. And this is one of the ways because I feel like there's no movement here. And now there's a movement. And it's fast moving movement. And it's moving right into spiritual union, soulmate. We have transformation. Interesting. This is the death card of Scorpio. Um, it's interesting because it's mirroring rest and rejuvenation. So clearly, there was some type of door that closed, and maybe it was somewhat against my will. I'm saying against my will, but like maybe just it's, overcoming. And I feel like, okay, it's almost like you're putting something behind you and you're closing the door to that. And remember, when you close the door, a new door is always going to open. Well, the 8, this positive movement forward, which is an 8, a new beginning, that would be the door, right? And lo and behold, I open the door and there's soulmates. What else we have? Oh boy. 6 of Cups. certainly could be someone that you used to know. Someone left a comment under Gemini's reading. Sam had come in and given me, I had to stop the reading for a second. He came in and gave me the first rose of the season and said, make a wish. So I said that after, once I started the reading again, I said that to everybody watching. And someone left a comment and said that, I think she said when she was 5, her neighbor boy who she had a crush on, came over and gave her a rose. And it made her smile. And I felt like connected to that energy, like, because I don't think anything is for nothing or everything is for something. Anyway, memories of love. Maybe that's what I got to pull on also. Maybe I got to think about the happy times. It feels like a feeling to me. Like I feel like I don't know why I know that I know. Like I feel something of love is coming my way. And this person, the Four of Swords, rest and rejuvenation, could certainly be picking that up. It's like I quiet my mind and maybe someone comes to your mind. And when that happens, it brings a smile to your face. Look at this fulfillment of wishes. I knew Cancer. I just knew that this was going to be a good reading. You know, it's not negating anything that happened before this because clearly you needed a moment, right? You needed to let this healing happen. And you must have, like, let it go. Because I feel like there's no way you could, like, carry it with you in a positive way. Like, if I carry that energy, first of all, I feel like it would be a shame because look at everything that's following that. First of all, look at the cups. 2 of cups, 6 of cups, 9 of cups. Inner fulfillment, fulfillment of wishes, memories of love. You know, I merely need to read the cards, but I'm feeling the energy. All right. Someone could be overcoming a relationship and lo and behold, there's someone along the path. Someone could have like even hurt you in a way. Because I feel like you're the one who's really recovering. But I feel like in this recovery, you're like, I just feel um, like different things, different memories are going to be ignited within you. So it feels really good. All right. Anyway, moving on, moving on. First of all, you have to look back and think of what am I moving on from? Really toxic energy. The Five of Swords. You know, bad communication. Could be a lot of fighting. All of a sudden I feel like I'm in this house and the yelling is like, it's hurting my ears. Um, some of you can just be your own thoughts. Sometimes things happen to us and we don't understand why. And then time passes, right? Because I have a feeling for some of you, you don't know about this 2 cups. I mean, maybe you think about this. If you know this person, maybe you think about this person. But I kind of feel I feel like your intentions, if this is what I want, I feel like your intentions are out there. And maybe I don't even know I'm doing that. Anyway, I don't know where I was going with that. So, moving on. Hmm. Obstacles and challenges. But listen, it's under the death card, transformation. So, it makes me feel like some of you, that's what you had. You had obstacles, challenges. Something wasn't working. Five, change. Something wasn't working. All right. Well, I mean, it looks like we're taking mainly the psychic churros. Let's keep going. I have another nine, by the way. And, I feel like there is in this Four Swords a lot of reflection going on. And it's interesting because you have spiritual strength here. And that's kind of what I feel like connecting. Like you're connecting, you're trusting what you're feeling, as you allow yourself to be in like this quiet mind and you're trusting it. You may not understand, but yet I feel like you're learning to trust it anyways. And it's interesting because I feel like my mind may go back to a time, like back to a time. It's probably why I was talking about past lives earlier. Like my mind goes back to a time. It's almost like I'm in this meditation. I go back in time and it goes back to this, this person. And though I may not be consciously manifesting this energy, it feels like, but you are. And I definitely feel like here's confirmation that you are connecting to your guides. You don't have to hear their voices, you feel. It's like, oh, you know what you know. You know what I mean? Anyway, balance, court of justice. So some of you certainly could have cut ties with someone. And you know, even if it's something I want, it's still hard. Yet I also get this feeling, I'm looking at the nine of cups. I'm looking at your very second card, which is positive movement forward. So maybe it is easier than I thought. But yet, we don't want to forget about healing, right? So could talk about cutting the ties. And I get for some of you, like these are energetic ties. And I almost feel like they followed you, like a life path to life path. And it's like you're removing them. All right. Well, we don't have a lot of room for the Troll Dreams, but we're going to go ahead and at least let a couple come out. Oh, 6 and 5, 11, 11, popping out to me. 99. I don't know why, but 8, 2, 13, almost like someone's birthday, August 2nd, 2013, or maybe before that. All right. We have the moon. By the way, justice is, it's called balance here. And it really, so it does tell you, like, whatever ties are being cut, whether I asked for it or I didn't ask for it, really what it's doing is helping to create balance back for you. It's almost like, your archangel was holding up the veil and letting you walk through. Hmm. Again, I'm getting that feeling of like, as I say that, I feel like, it's almost like I'm walking through lifetimes. I have a feeling June's going to be a very spiritual time for you, like a time when you're thinking about things, but from like a spiritual perspective. And that's a good thing because that means you're not going to let like the earthly obstacles and challenges get in your way. But with the moon here, can talk about uncertainties. Yeah, maybe I still have to keep moving anyways. It can be very dreamy energy and it is mirroring the spiritual union, the soulmates. It is also your roller, you know what I mean? So it's kind of directly connecting you over to justice or balance. Look at this, my dear, the 10 of cups. So again, when one door closes, another door opens, and look at that. So we're healing from the past, the transformation, right? We're jumping in this boat, we're heading towards the sun. I don't even think we know this two of cups person exists yet, even though, like, here's what I feel. I feel like however you like come to initially come together, like initially meet again. Let's just put it that way. I feel like it's the recognition of each other's soul. Even if I can't put that word to it, it's just there's something different. I feel it. And let yourself trust that. Because, then I got to kind of move down to the Six of Swords, which tells me that, it could be a little difficult to trust, you know, that feeling because I feel like I literally just was healing, you know, from this. But yet I feel like as you continue to go, because look, you have fulfillment of wishes right here. And it feels like to me, like, to get that wish fulfilled, it requires me to move on from the five swords. So it's almost like the six is overcoming the five, like I'm going to rise above these obstacles. I'm going to go over them, and here's my spiritual team, like, like holding the curtain open. Look at the ultimate destination, the Ten of Cups. Some may say, well, that sounds too good to be true, but there's a lot going on in between, right? And it is ultimately like you giving yourself like it almost like a new adventure. All right, let's see what's at the bottom of the decks. Hmm. Well, Mother Mary is saying, let your feminine side come out. Empress is the perfect one. Fertility. She is our nurturing, loving, been there, done that, powerful, courageous, you know, human, though also spiritual being. This is someone who's very creative. I feel like it's you allowing you to be you. No excuse, right? Like, don't matter what anybody else says. It's me just being me. And so be it. You know what I mean? It's almost like, and maybe that's what you're figuring out, and it's like your energy is radiating outward. Hmm. Look at that. Three of Swords. So you were healing some of you a broken heart. But I do feel like you'll look back and be like, what I thought was, the worst. turns out to be, it's reminding me of a Boss Gag song. I think it's Boss Gags where he's thanking his wife for cheating on him because then he meets the true love of his life because of that. And I can't think of the song, but look at this. We have the Emperor and the Empress on the bottom of the deck. Here they are. Here they are. And I don't feel like it's interesting because I feel like clearly they must be, first of all, her energy is like radiating out, and he's sure to pick up on it. It's got the King of Cups on the bottom, so I don't feel like, I don't know. I just think that's wild in the best of ways. And listen, it's interesting because when I was doing one of those videos and I was really researching this one archangel, um and oh, archangel, I forget the name, but anyway, it's about forgiveness, mercy. I don't feel like this is a love, whether we're together, and I don't feel like you're together, and maybe some of you are, but I don't feel like you're together unless you're just like having an issue. And if you are, you need to rise above it, like, right? Like you be you and they be them. Mother and father figure. But they are opposites. He's methodical. He puts a plan in place. She is creative, goes by what she feels because she trusts the experiences that she's had. They've taught her well, right? But she's put him like she knows when to close the door. But they have very similar interests and morals. You know what I mean? Like they do care about their fellow man. They do want to try to help improve their lives in some way. They do something that, whether they know they're doing it, it's like healing energy. And I say they, I mean you. Um, you and I don't know who, except for, again, it's soulmate connection. So, excuse me one second. Okay. I was just gone for a second. Hmm. I feel like I was meant to be interrupted. Like, okay, just get to the clarifier, Sandy. So that's what I'm gonna do. Go to True. I feel like as much as the Emperor and Empress have indifference, they also have a like. Like I feel like they can really complete each other, right? I can draw on you, the parts that the energy that you carry, and you can draw on me. And it's interesting that the feminine comes out. For some of you, it could talk about a twin flame, and I don't know. I would say because I kind of feel it's like I feel like your higher self knows that something is about to happen, but I don't feel like your human self knows that. All right, let's go ahead and bring in the Gilded Tarot, and we're going to start at the top line, but we're reading as a whole. Look at that, the Empress again. So it's kind of like, well, you want to know who's healing? It's the Empress. Does the Empress then become the healer? Does the student then become the teacher? I feel that for some of you. Like really, like the student becomes the teacher. The healing becomes the healer. You are now a healer. We have the Five of Pentacles. So, I feel like what it's saying is something did happen outside of your control. Something did like injure, like feels like put a mark on your soul type of thing. Um, but at the same time, I feel like in the Five of Pentacles, even though it's energy is outside my control, like kind of feeling thrown out into the cold in a way. But yet I feel like in the same breath, it's putting you on a different path. And in the Five of Pentacles, I feel like where am I moving? I'm moving towards a six, where I feel like, it almost feels like a soulmate family type of energy. But maybe I don't know what I don't know yet. We have, look at that, the Six of Swords. Wow. So we have the Six of Swords above the Two of Cups and below the Two of Cups. This is not the first time with Chariot. Interesting. It's almost like Divine is saying, till there is balance, right? Balance between this Emperor and this Empress, these soulmates, true balance, right? Feminine and masculine, light and dark. This chariot doesn't move. It is your major arcana, and it does speak about unlimited potential. Coming right of the death card, it's almost like this is not the first time. This is not the first time. And it's almost like, and yep, I gotta take that moment. Gotta give myself, you know, the gift of healing. And maybe through that, again, like, you receive like all these epiphanies, you have all these ideas. You start thinking of someone. Maybe some of you like make a physical move. Hmm. Well, there's that King of Cups. I feel like we saw him somewhere. Cancer. Could be another Cancer. Scorpio or Pisces. We have everything on the board, everyone on the board. But if we go beyond the sign and we think about the king, and this is someone who I just feel like hmm, it's the loving king. It's the king who does express his emotions, doesn't hold back, and I feel like, and you must have good thoughts. We have the hangman, slow down, you move too fast. Hmm. It's almost a requirement, because maybe it's like divinely guided, but with certain like lessons built in. And each lesson was important. I almost feel like I feel like we're soulmates, and when we're in our spiritual being, it's like we can look at these lifetimes and we can be like, it's been more than one lifetime where we didn't connect, where one of us like you know, like took a different path or what have you. But I feel like in this lifetime, like we really want to try to connect. And, you know, that what looks like, through the Five of Pentacles, again, not really what I think I asked for. It is showing right away you moving away from what was toxic. It's like, maybe I didn't want to tell myself that. So I feel like spirit guides must have got involved because, this fulfillment of a wish, it's like the hangman is like, but wait, putting right up to the Empress. Hmm. All right. Maybe all in divine timing. Let's see. Let's keep going. Well, there's that Knight of Swords. There's that Knight of Swords. You know, it could certainly be communication. Like, why would it not be? It looks like it's coming in. I feel like the hangman is in a state of, seeking wisdom, right? Like, how can I make, a wish come true? It's not, and it's a fulfillment of wishes, not just a wish. But I feel like the hangman is like seeking that wisdom. And I feel like one of the things is it does feel like it's a cutting of some type of a tie. Um, and maybe I resisted that. But I feel like ultimately it happens anyway. Hmm. Let's see who comes behind the knight. Well, we got a lot. Get that knock justice out of the way. We have, well, hello, Six of Cups again, mirroring the King of Cups and the Six of Cups. Look at that with Ten of Swords. Coming right over spiritual strength. My God, this feels like a repeat pattern. We have the Queen of Pentacles coming over justice. We have, there's that Five of Swords over the moon. Nine of Swords, not great. Over the Ten of Cups. It's almost like I'm telling myself that I don't believe that this could happen. But yet, here's all the makings of it, right? And, when I see the Ten of Swords, certainly you may have known this person. It does kind of feel like now it's tying the Six of Cups directly to the fives, to the obstacles, the challenges, but it could be an obstacle challenge to each other at the same time. And, this Nine of Swords, this is unnecessary worry. So that's a good thing. And it's over the Ten of Cups. And it's kind of like I'm saying, you know, can I believe that this can happen for me? And I feel like, I merely have to look back one card to understand why I would think that way. And that's the Five of Swords. So, there can be many different things that can be, fighting, using my tongue as a weapon, other people doing that. It's energy where there's no growth. It's not good for you. And I feel like really the only solution is to move on from it. Like fives are asking for a change. But this is like I'm in it. I realize it. And maybe I'm the realization I'm having is there has to be movement. Again, whether I asked for it or I didn't. It's like there's no denying it. And we have the Seven of Wands. It's almost like here is the answer to why, if we're repeating this, if this is a lesson we keep repeating, it may talk about like, where instead of allowing ourselves to like live in the emotions, we start to get in our heads and our words become weapons, right? Ten of Swords, like dagger after dagger. And I often feel it's like the energy of submission. Um, but I feel like Seven of Wands could talk about, it can certainly be an energy of the ego. It's also seven though, right? So to me, it's like a spiritual lesson. Some of you it could have been like, I could be on one end and where I think like here I am, like putting out fire after fire. Hmm. I don't think so though. I think this is about having a true realization. And to me, it feels like for the majority, it kind of feels like, um, whether you know this person or not, it doesn't feel like in this lifetime it's them who caused. Now, could be, but I feel like that would be back then. I feel like what it's talking about now is energy that you're around that just, it's not serving you. And I feel like, it, but yet maybe it's just the thought of change is difficult, right? But then again, as you give this yourself time to like heal that, right? So you can close the door, it's like boom, positive movement forward. Hmm. I feel like there's a few who where your worry lies is, is this gonna happen again? And I kind of don't feel like it. I feel quite the opposite because if I feel like you're being guided towards the light, not towards like a lesson. That's not what I'm feeling. I'm feeling like the lesson, you just had that lesson. And now as you're moving from that, you're transitioning from that or transforming from that lesson into what now feels like potential blessings. And when I say blessings, it could certainly be like, where again, there could have been someone that, in your heart that you longed for. And there could be communication, then it comes in. Here you are worried. All right. I'm not going to end it there. Um, what am I going to look at? I think I'm going to look at this Knight of Swords and just get an idea of like what it is, what kind of energy he's bringing in with that Death card. And the King of Swords. It's almost like, do I tell someone? Like, is it somehow known that, okay, this chapter is ended? And then communication comes in from potentially this energy of, at least, listen, this would be someone that I have treasured memories about. And I kind of like that we have the King of Swords. Now, for some of you, it could be like who you're putting an end with. Could be. But for some of you, I feel like this could be the energy of these two kings, right? Like someone who expresses their emotions like outwardly. I don't have to guess. Anyway, um, let's take one or two more. So we double Scorpio on the board, by the way. Well, okay. You know, it's interesting because I really wasn't going to read reversals today, but this one kind of came reversed. It's like almost. This is a self-created prison, and this is when I'm not trusting in myself, right? I'm not trusting in my energy. I think that I need to put these barriers before me, but all they're doing is stopping my opportunities. You know what I mean? I feel like it's kind of resistant to like, well, I feel like healing because I feel like you have to seek that. Some of you, you may still be in this energy and you may be at the very beginning of it. Whoever created this prison is the only one who can uncreate it. But I have to tell you, I kind of felt it in reverse. And what does that mean to me? In reverse, it means freedom to me. Freedom. And maybe that's why I said over here, like, where I'm now free to be myself, who I am, right? Like, as I sit as the Empress, I'm different. I'm not the same person that I once was. All right. We also got, well, hello, full. We have the Queen of Wands. We have, look at this, the Knight of Wands. And then we have the Devil, part of Capricorn. It's interesting because a lot of times, or in a lot of my decks, when you see the devil, really what you see is the influence that the devil has over the lovers. And, it's illusionary, right? But like at the time, I believed it to be so. It's almost like why that Eight of Swords then becomes reversed. It's like, man, how'd I get stuck in this web? Sometimes I'm looking for a savior and I am my own savior. Along with your guides, though. Um, this Knight of Cups does speak about an unexpected cup of fulfillment. Well, we have the Nine of Cups, we have the Hangman over it, but then now we have the Fool. And it's almost like the Hangman has found the wisdom to, take a leap of faith. It doesn't mean even take a leap of faith in love. I'm taking a leap of faith in myself, right? In closing old chapters, in and looking at life at the adventures that could be had, right? Because we move into the Queen of Wands energy, and I still feel like that's you. But I feel like this is the Queen of Action. This is not where I'm like gonna think about it first and then move into it, and especially with the Empress here, you do trust your energy. And that's what you should do. Like you trust your energy. Is it going to be good? Is it of the light? Is it of the dark? Well, I feel like if you're in the Empress's energy or the Emperor's, any energy that comes towards you, if it's of a negative nature, energetically, I feel like the alarms will be set out off, the red flags will be sent. And I don't feel like either one of them misses the signs, not at this stage. Not at this stage. I just get a feeling that this may be the lifetime that you come together, like where you do overcome these obstacles. It's almost like, but I also feel your guide, like the guidance behind this. And I feel like, for some, it's like this regret that I may sit in, that I maybe think that I'm in, like, oh, regret. If only, I feel like down the road, like, I feel like you don't need that. Because again, I feel like the student is becoming the teacher. Who's ever being healed is becoming the healer. And maybe that's exactly how it was meant to be. I feel like the question is interesting because my right ear, there it goes, just like completely closed. And now it's ringing. Um, Interesting. Anyway, what was I going to say? Hmm. I don't feel like any of this came easily or will come easily. But in a way, I feel like if I go with like the flow, and what I mean by that is like if I just trust my intuition, like something is telling me like to get on the bus, or, jump in that ship. Or maybe I had no choice, right? But maybe I made a decision of where I'm going, like I'm going somewhere. I'm heading towards the sun. Maybe I don't have a clue where I'm going. It's an eight. Infinity has above, so below, no beginning, no end. It's kind of what it feels like here. And I feel like these challenges that probably both have faced, um, in a way, I feel like they were asked for. Almost like a challenge to your souls. Like, can we overcome these? Can we, become the masters instead of, the student? Um, can we let go of like these human, like regret, and forgive ourselves and forgive whoever and move forward? Certain chapters are meant to end. Um, but I feel like some may have been a little resistant, but yet at the same time, I feel like just go with the flow. Like, I don't want to overread this. All right, I'm going to take one more round and I'm going to go over the 10 of cups because really, this is the ultimate destination, right? It's the ultimate destination. But there's a lot of worry over that. Yet, it's unnecessary. And I feel like, look at that, the emperor. Will my emperor find me? Maybe it's the emperor. Will my empress ever find me? Can we let this be and let it go? Huh, that's interesting. I'm going to take one more on that. That is interesting. The emperor is definitely in the upright, someone that I can look up to. Look at this, the Nine of Cups. It's like there's that wish. There's that wish way back where the hangman, right? I was seeking the wisdom. I was giving my time, the time I needed to heal. The growth that I've had from that, jumping into the full, like closing the door, to what was, whether I wanted to or not, but I'm closing that, jumping to the fool's energy to take a leap of faith, on myself, in myself. And because I feel like you learn so much like on a spiritual level. I feel like your guides are definitely like trying to illuminate that for you. But look at this. There is that fulfillment of a wish. There it is. Coming right over the Ten of Cups with the Emperor. And I feel like, I can believe it or I cannot. And maybe if I choose not to, maybe it's not to be in this lifetime. Maybe that was one of the challenges. Like if I couldn't get beyond that, then maybe it wasn't meant to be. But in the Nine of Cups, again, that's one's inner harmony. And maybe that's why the Fool's like, believe in yourself first. Maybe that's why what I said with the Empress, like she feels like I can just be me, no mask required, right? I can follow really, what's burning inside of me anyways. Or I can believe it'll never come true. I feel like that's putting too much pressure on you. By the way, with the Nine of Cups, when this knight comes, he has a cup. That would make it the Ten of Cups, right? If this is singular energy, right? Because I can either believe that a wish will come true or I cannot. But I feel like the knight carrying this cup, if you add it to the Nine of Cups, it turns into the Ten of Cups. Well, this is the Ten of Cups. So I feel like it's just more confirmation. Again, you have to pay attention to all the energy. But, I mean, I think I should just let it be. Um, yeah, I'm just gonna let it be, but I'm gonna read Mother Mary because it's probably important with the Empress coming out. What? Two times at least, and the Emperor twice? Well, there you go. There's synchronicities right there. All right, feminine. Mother Mary demonstrates that you can be both feminine and strong. Her sweet and loving nature is balanced by a clear vision of her duty to God's will. Whether you're a woman or man, you have a feminine and a masculine nature. This card comes to you as a message for you to allow your feminine side to be more present and accessible to others. Your femininity includes virtues such as nurturing, tenderness, sweetness, softness, and gentleness, as well as intuition. In fact, in order for you to develop your spiritual gifts, including intuition, it's essential to allow yourself to receive, and that includes divine messages. Wow. Like amen. Like like all of that is exactly what I was feeling in this energy of the Empress over the Four Swords. In the importance, it's almost like the hangman's like, I'm not going to interrupt that lesson, because whatever happening in that feels like potentially is what, gets the ball rolling, let's just say. But again, I feel like it's not even about just the soulmates. It's also about each becoming like who they are on their own, maybe individually. Can it be? I mean, you tell me. You tell me. All right, guys, I'm gonna let that be. What am I gonna name this title? Like, how could I get across to you this reading? And some of you might be like, this reading doesn't even make sense. Um, but you may be at a place where, you're not yet open. Because I feel like this went beyond the cards, definitely beyond the cards. And maybe that's what I'll name it, beyond the cards. So, anyways, I'm gonna let that be. I love you guys. I thank you. Um, I pray that whatever is really meant to find you, and you're open to that you find it, it finds you, and you live in perfect harmony. That's my prayer for you. I love you. I'll see you next time at our table. Bye bye.